Lufthansa first class flight in the 747-8. A flight from Frankfurt to Miami, so a flight that is also fully equipped and occupied in first class everywhere at the moment. So by doing this, you can also get an impression of whether it's to New York with the 747 or also in the 340. That doesn't make much difference, that remains of the service. Relatively similar. I have just noted down a lot of points in this direction so that one can actually get a current impression of what is going on and in which direction it is heading. The direction remains unchanged. What Lufthansa had planned, namely the reduction of first class and the reduction of Horn circuit service, will continue to be pursued to an extremely high degree, as it was already planned 5 years ago. One individual has bid farewell to premium quality. They have made a transition to the quality offered by this discount store. That's why people are no longer willing to spend money today. Although we have to pay great tickets, but for this money we don't get anything anymore. That's why it doesn't make sense to invest a lot of money in Lufthansa in the future. So you have to make sure that you really get the great bargains when talking about the first, and I am exclusively referring to a first class product today. This top-notch product, which was previously also honored and which I have recently praised extensively in numerous videos that I mentioned, oh my goodness, what a dream it is. This particular service, to anticipate it right away, does not exist anymore in the luxurious Lufthansa first class in today's time. I was, or am certain that a company such as Lufthansa, which also has an interest in regaining our business, might accomplish this with exceptional service. Since you still have employees, you haven't fired all of them. Flight from Frankfurt to Miami is cheapest if booked as soon as available, with rates around 3.8 and up to 12,000 for the most expensive option. So you can pay between 3.8 and 12,000 euros, if it's not a special bargain now. So this can be reduced by using points at Partner Plus Benefit or by using miles, or maybe you have reached a business ticket and then you book it with an upgrade. You can also request a business ticket, for example, at the gate by saying, I would like to upgrade to first class, is there any availability? Or what is also possible with Lufthansa, which I personally find a tragedy, is that during a flight you can say, I will pay you how much, X amount, 1200 or something, then I can still upgrade from business to first or from economy to business during the flight. These things are everything today. It's only about money. What does only mean? That has always been the case, but now it's more obvious. We have now also arrived at Lufthansa in American conditions. You have to know that. And whoever thinks that might be dramatic, what I'm saying here, and maybe even what I'll tell you, then I would say, then you can't be taught. Then you have to make this experience yourself, and I have made it for you and can therefore tell you today how dramatic the conditions are currently in Lufthansa first class in the entire service in terms of price-performance ratio at the moment. It is and it remains underground. The flight departs at 9:50 a.m., so I was there at 9:05 or something like that. Then I had a fried egg made, then I had another espresso, and then I said, thank you very much, I don't need the rest. I'll check, maybe I have luck on board and then I have something. So I'll be well taken to the plane. The chauffeur area, everything is functional. So that means you go down, you say hello, you get into the Porsche, then you are driven over with the Porsche, then you get in there, and then the chauffeur says goodbye. These things are all acceptable. Everything, I would state, in a technically correct narrative. There is nothing to express dissatisfaction about. And then you come on board, and then you say, first of all, man, I think this could start well. That's where it starts, that the pajama distribution and all these things are not done properly. That means there's a blue top and a brown bottom, because you don't have everything completely as it should be for the guests, that you have a fresh, beautiful, clean pajama, but you probably want to get rid of the old leftovers from the last 2 years that are still remaining. So you comprehend. The employees located on site are genuinely positive. This signifies that one is traveling in the diligent, yes indeed, quality that is friendly to Lufthansa throughout the journey experience. There are only a few individuals who still offer an exceptionally good service, who possess the necessary qualities. There is a specific level of restraint. It began positively. Once we were airborne, the service commenced promptly, marking a good start to our journey. The menu card and champagne was served, then there was this appetizer. The entire catering area was abysmal and in need of improvement. The worst, most terrible thing I've experienced in a long time. I recall a similar story where we also took off. I also believe from USA. What there was here at present, and that is my Hunting Gourmet, LSG doesn't exist anymore. This company will only pay a small fraction. I assume 50% will get 50% less, so the other 50% will also get 50% less. There are only inexpensive peas, vegetables, meat, and everything else. I mean, it's discounted quality. The first class has worsened, the Lufthansa first class, into a discounted quality. You can't say it differently now. The catering is terrible. So many things were no longer available in the catering. And now another tragedy happened. I already mentioned mentioned that at the beginning. This is the upgrade that people have made on the plane. For the cost of 1,200 euros, they have the option to upgrade to first class. This is an underground performance, really, because that would reduce the catering by half again. And there is no more catering. So from the caviar, from the little that is left, it will also be halved. That means they also receive something. And then there were 4 from one, 3 from the other, and 2 parts from the other, which were split. Then there was just this and that not. There was only a limited amount of filet, or there was only a limited amount of antipasti or something else. And that, ultimately everything was terrible. Incredibly terrible. No happiness whatsoever. That has not brought me any pleasure. I did capture images of all of that, but only had a brief taste of it. As I observed, everything is terrible, so I left and came back. Dessert was still lacking, indicating no sabayon or similar item being served. Fortunately, because they then say, man, we do a lot for our horn, and that's what I appreciate about the employees, they always do a little more for me too. I wanted to watch movies. That was the oldest film material there was. Really such old stuff. Old ham. There were, I believe, a total of 5 fresh new films that were produced in 20 and 21. The rest just old stuff. So this is entertainment. So there I was with the flight, saw everything new. Old Anguk from the 60s. Watch Errol Flynn or what? If I fly Lufthansa first class, I want choices. I only say Emirates. They have thousands of movies there, always the latest stuff in there. But that's exactly it now. They have it. Fly with Emirates via Dubai instead. Spend 3 more days in Dubai, then continue your journey. You just have to enjoy life. You just have to slow down. But this type of flying with Lufthansa in first class is no longer bearable. Then this mini television, yes, this small mini image of something, that is indeed an impertinence. Let's talk about something that I find dramatic after 2 years of pandemic. I'm going to first class because it's already very small. There's one in the A320 or in the A220 Neo, which is twice as big at Swiss. This minuscule first, where predominantly the business people meet their demise regardless, did not even have any soap on board the vessel. So that means there was no more soap, and they also didn't have any soap stored. The employee came to me and said, Mr. Schroeder, so that you don't think I didn't refill it, there is no soap on board. Look, so that means they even save on the most important things, which should actually, in my opinion, be mandatory, that there is disinfection and enough soap to wash hands. Even this basic requirement is currently not possible for Lufthansa in terms of performance. As far as the flight is concerned and as far as the landing is concerned, there is no rival service. So in the whole of the USA and also in all other Asian stories, there is no one there to pick you up and then bring you into this story through security and so on. So if you're in the front, if you're lucky and manage to get out somewhat, you're pretty much in front before the machine even takes off. Then if you want to go a bit faster at the front of these lanes, yes, then you go into the monkey lane in Miami or in New York. And then you stand in there, and also there, the procedure is, I think, it works. Are you coming outside to the luggage? Yes. No one informed you in front, Mr. Schroeder. Please come to baggage conveyor 4. We have someone there who will give you the luggage. They don't give a damn about these employees in the USA. They simply have no interest in it. So I arrived there, then took my suitcase. I'm out then, and even there, the employees who usually always get through security very quickly stood longer than we did. That's saying something for USA. Then you only have Singapore Airlines left. The ANA, of course, brings joy. Japan Airlines is naturally a delight. Many are also enthusiastic about the Arabs, which means, for example, I would also say Emirates. I am also a fan of Emirates when it comes to Asia. I'll just fly first class in my little secluded space in the Game Changer and then have a 6-hour flight all to myself. I'll also have some coffee and stuff brought to me, champagne and the rest. I'll enjoy watching movies. They have everything there. Quickly give it when you arrive. There with the chauffeur at the hotel. That's all returning with the chauffeur. Look, you still picked her up there. Lufthansa never even considered the idea of introducing that. From the side, a 3-4 day stay in Dubai is always worth a trip and offers great experiences. Just do it relaxed, fly on. Also, enter the whole world there. This Lufthansa no longer worth 5,000 euros. So anyone who flies with the first now will no longer have what we had. So what was just 2 years ago. If what you get there is enough for you, then you are lucky that you don't know it any other way. This is the worst Lufthansa first class of all time.
Sexy